Okay, so this is the second part of that, the earlier game. It's a turn 3. So far, the Syrian armed forces have done pretty well. They've only just failed on one assault over here where they got a fatigue. They've either eliminated or driven back the units into the town. I'm pretty sure it's going to go fairly smoothly forward. I am actually going to try counter-attacking here. Or not. The thing is, if I counter-attack, all my units will move out of that hex. Let's try counter-attacking into there. So that would give me 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 against 6, 2 to 1. I really think that let's move these units into here. Now they could counterattack against one of these units, but I'm not sure that I really want to run the risk of losing this urban space. So I'm actually going to end that turn there, which then puts it over to the Syrian armed forces. And I think the first thing to do with that is to start carrying airstrikes on the main urban area. I'm going to put both of these in there. He's only got 4 factors in there now. So now they didn't retreat. So back to the game and maybe sort of get an idea of what happened there. Now, when the game develops, I'll probably expand on the result section. They got a factor of 3, fatigue factor of 3. So they've lost 30%. So four minus, they're worth about 3 manpower instead of 4 now. I'm also going to just put in some artillery over on this unit here. There's my artillery. Now he's got 2, 4, 6, 8. I've got 8, but he's in a town. He's possibly fatigued, so it's going to be 1 to 1, maybe 1 to 2. Let's just attack. And back to game. I'm not sure what happened there, but he's fatigue 3, fatigue 4, fatigue 3, fatigue 4. So it's 3s and 4s. So 2 rounds, airstrikes, artillery, indirect area fire, pushing the fatigues up. Going to put him into there, and I think that's pretty much it. I'm actually going to use this opportunity to actually play a long haul game, because the Free Syrian Army really don't have a lot of options. Now they could assault again, and they could try and take out one of these hexes. But I just want to sort of play it as maybe it would be. They're going to defend in the city. They could try and take out this bit of town again, but there's quite a lot in there. There's 6, 12, 18, doubled up to 36. I'd have to have a real heavy go at that. I mean, basically that's infantry, and mechanized infantry. So Now, one thing I'd like to point out is that going forward, generally, artillery will be able to carry out indirect area fire into an adjacent hex. Now, we can't do that at the moment, but whilst I'm passing these turns out, which I'm about to do the end turn phase, they wouldn't just end turn. These units would actually fire into here. They wouldn't attack into there. They wouldn't move into there, but they're tanks, so they would use their high explosives and indirectly. Now they can't perform like artillery. This artillery can fire up to 4 hexes away, 1, 2, 3, 4, so he can fire on everything. So that's why he's just sat there. Our tanks can't do that, but they can attack, they can fire into that hex, but they can't do it yet. They haven't written the rules, so it's now their turn, but they're not going to do anything either. Now, one of the things I don't have in play at the moment again is fatigue recovery. So you've got to imagine that as I'm passing, I've just passed 2 turns, well, I've just passed a turn, 1 through either side. Both sides would have recovered 2 fatigues. Now, the rules are that you can't recover more than two more than your greatest fatigue. So if they go up to 3, they can never recover to below 1 fatigue because they were at 3. 2 minus 3 was their maximum. 3 minus that, so they would always be at 1. So these units would actually be recovering. So both sides get benefit a little from a sort of turn that nothing happens. However, it's now the Assyrian Armed Forces' turn again. So again, we get the airstrikes. Now they've only got 12 of these airstrikes, and we've used 2 so far, or 3. This is going to be the 4th. So then they are limited, but they are quite potent. And I'm going to send those down onto here. Both of them going in there. So we got 7 doubled up to 14 against 2, 4, 6, 8 which is 16, but they're at sort of fatigues 3 and 4, so they're going to be about 12. So it's going to be about 1 to 1. Let's just see what happens. Oh look, they have now they've either been eliminated or they have retreated. Now, one of the things that I will be thinking of changing is I don't want units retreating from an urban hex like this into somewhere stupid like a bunch of fields. It was an airstrike. They would probably hunker down, so that will sort of change. But at the moment, obviously, they got the retreat and they've retreated. That means that I can actually get in there, which I'm going to do. But it also means that these units can possibly get away. So I think I'm going to put in some artillery. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're out of range for artillery now, so I'm going to put in the artillery on that unit just to get the artillery used. Now the artillery appears in this little box down here. Now I don't know what happened with the artillery strike, but 3 fatigue, 4 fatigue, 1 fatigue, 4 fatigue. It's quite a big stack. To be quite honest, I need really a better way of figuring out everything that's in that stack. It's still quite early days, so I've just fired anyway on them. I think I'm going to use this opportunity because they retreated. I don't want them sort of coming out here and going all over the place, so I am actually now going to attack. And obviously I've advanced, and have they retreated or have they been eliminated? Yeah, they were eliminated. So, they've been bombed, they've run away, and we've used 2 armour brigades, 2 armour regiments and infantry regiments to chase them up, and that's the end of them. It's not looking very good now because there's only 2 stacks here, and I think I'm not going to commit an assault against them yet, but here it's sort of looking tempting because there's only 2 units, but I'm going to wait a turn because he's not going anywhere. So it's now a Free Syrian Army move. Now I don't know, you've got to sort of think logically or sort of maybe not so much realistically, but I think they might be thinking about running away. I mean, they've got this small opportunity to run away through this gap, but even if they did, 1, 2, 3, I mean, they could probably get no further than there. Or do they stay? Now, obviously, historically, they stay. But I think I'm going to sort of move them all into here because it just seems like a better defended position, and then end their turn. Now, to be quite honest, I should have moved some into there. That would have been a good move. Okay, but Move these units into here, into there. Pretty much got a full surround there. I'm going to bring in some air power into here. He's got 2, 4. I'm not sure what the fatigue levels are. So attack, and he's still in there. They are hiding in the basements, and so, but fatigue level 3, fatigue level 3. I think I'm going to push into there. Now I can't use this one because they're across the river, but all these other units, in theory, and the artillery, I'm just going to use everyone because I really want to take out that hex. And look, they all advance. Now, just a small note, obviously the artillery didn't advance, and you might think, well, of course they didn't advance, it's 4 hex away. Well, I'm talking about the fact that the rules actually work, the mechanics work. You know, when I first did it, the artillery would teleport because it just puts all the units that were involved in the engagement into there. So I've taken out that heavy, dense urban area there, had the chance, which sort of makes sense because it's ×3 defence. Now they're stuck in this ×2. They can't go anywhere. They're completely surrounded. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're in artillery range, so I'm not going to do any more on this turn. Now, I don't know how the Free Syrian Army feels about this, but there's one last opportunity to counter-strike, and probably going to at least try. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 versus 12. So that's a 1 to 2. I think I'm not actually going to do that because that is suicidal. I mean, they're going to get trounced this turn, but they're just going to sit there. In a more advanced state, again, they would be, they would possibly be recovering, possibly. Also, I've got plans for some kind of entrenchment, fortification rules. If you don't move, you're considered to be entrenched, which makes you even harder in urban terrain. So that's the end of their turn. So it's now the Syrian Armed Forces turn. Obviously, I'm going to put in the Russian airstrikes. So let's see what that does. Oh look, now obviously they've been eliminated, but let's just see if they actually retreat anywhere. No, so that's the end of the game. I mean, we've got 2 minutes to spare, well, just under 2 minutes. I think that's sort of, I mean, it's nothing, it's not rocket science, it's hardly sort of like, you know, Waterloo or the Eastern Front, World War II, but it's sort of, you know, you can play that. That's 2 little turns. I was talking as well, so that's under half an hour. You know, to play that little game. Obviously, a lot of scope for development, but that's the nature of all these games. You can hopefully play them in under half an hour, maybe a little bit less, you know, 20 minutes or something like that. You know, have a little break, move some counters around, you know, have a think about a military scenario. I mean, this is about, you know, at this moment, about as current as it gets. I mean, this is, he only just did this a few days ago, and to be quite honest, the military organisation's fairly accurate. I don't know whether how representative it is of the actuality of it all, whether or not they're too strong or too many units, this and that. But I mean, the result there was pretty much what happened. I mean, you know, the Syrian Armed Forces surrounded this place, whatever it is, Esh, Minskin, whatever, and defeated the Free Syrian Army and al-Nusra, whoever they are. So that's that. So there's 2 YouTube videos to play one game from start to finish. I'm glad I did it now. I will be putting up more and more. Every time I write a game, I'm gonna actually play it online. I just feel that's going to be fun and you know, things to watch. I hope you enjoyed that. yeah. So thanks a lot. Bye.